Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I figure why not do this one. The Equalizer. Now when I say the Equalizer, I'm not talking about the movie, whether it's the original, whether it's the sequel, whether it's the third one, whatever other fucking Equalizers they make. Because we all know franchises talk. Because, in all fairness, I wouldn't have loved off the movies. No, I wouldn't. I'm on about the TV series, The Equalizer. A lot of people forget there was a TV series of The Equalizer. Come out in 1985, and I think they did the last season going into 1989. And I always remember the music that was performed by a former band from The Peace. Not about The Peace, what arrest you. Remember the band, The Peace? And the died very tired just after he left the piece. There's a lot of date music. It is one of my favourite horror films, that being The First Power. He did the music to my favourite comedy, See No Evil, Hear No Evil. And he also did the music to The Equalizer. It was his big break after the piece split up in 85. And it was also another big break, Edward Woodward. Now people could say, Edward Woodward, Peter, come on, he's been an actor for this. Not really. He was known in the early 70s for being in another TV series, where he played sort of like a secret agent. The only difference is it was more of a secret agent and it was more down to earth. If you're looking like for James Bond, it's not that type of secret agent. It was more down to earth, what a real secret agent would be like. And then when that went off air, he did The Wicker Man. Everyone always remembers Edward Woodward. They remember The Wicker Man. Now, in all fairness, I'm not a lover of The Wicker Man. Shock. Horror. I'm not. Christopher Lee says it's his best film. I know Christopher Lee is sadly no longer with us, same as Edward Woodward, may they both rest. But I've got to disagree. Is it as bad as some of the Dracula films? I can watch Dracula as a time waster. Is it as bad as Man with the Golden Gun? I actually don't mind that Bond film. But The Wicker Man, I'm not a lover of it. To me, it was loads of fucking hippies. Well, like, not really hippies, but sort of like hippies. You know, this was not long after the hippie revolution and all that. Edward Woodward plays a bob bear. He's looking for a missing kid. He gets set up. They stick him in a wooden fucking thing they call the Wicker Man. Well, not to call it a wooden man, but they call him the Wicker Man. They sacrifice him, they burn him to the gods, end the fucking movie. So it even has a downbeat ending. I make it sound more bloodthirsty than what it is, but you know what I mean? To me, I thought it was fucking depressed downbeat ending. The twist didn't do anything for me. The film fucking bored me. It's got tits in it. It's got somebody dancing around naked. But Rod Stewart, he sued them because she had a big bum. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Well, he didn't sue for that now. I think he had to buy the rights because at the time she was his wife and her acting sucked. And his singing wasn't even her own singing, which says a lot. And her ass wasn't even her own. It was a fake body double. But never the fucking this. If I want to see naked women, I always say it. I can just watch fucking porn. I can look at a dirty mag for that. So even that didn't entertain me. So Edward Woodward, after that, he did a few films. Been out for him, he did Little Road. I remember him in another film where he got killed in a car accident. I think that's all I remember of that one. So he didn't really get that far. It was only in the mid-80s, about to get to it, being 1985, they was looking for someone to star in the Equalizer, this TV miniseries, TV show. It's going to be like the A-Team, it's a one-man, the A-Team, who helps people with crisis. You do it all, not Ghostbusters, it's all the Equalizer. So Edward Woodward got his big break in 85 doing the Equalizer. Like I say, it lasted from 85 to 1989. And I actually like this. I always remember the music. Do 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 do. I'm not gonna do the rest. I think I've got it somewhere on one of my MP3s because I like the music that much. What can I say? And the first episode, it's not really a bad episode actually. You can definitely see why after this Edward Woodward got his name again, because he starts off as a copper, and this dies in a time he's threatening to shoot a woman. Edward Woodward, as the Equalizer, is trying to talk him out of it. but this other cop gets done up there, and he bounces into the bad guy, gets shot. He didn't want to do it, but he had no option. So Edward Rutherford puts a gun at the cop off, but doesn't shoot. And that's when he sort of retires being a Bob and becomes his own man, being the Equalizer. And then you get that beautiful song, I've just done it. Do, 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 do. I always remember the song. I remember watching it on Tinad and ITV late on Friday nights, and I always remember that music. Always do. I always look at it, goes. I can't do it. I can't. I'd kill it if I did. And the first story, it wasn't really that bad. I mean, you've got this guy, and you've got the idea he's a stalker, and he's stalking this woman. She's like a single mum. And he's a scumbag, basically. You've got the idea he's a bit of a perv. And it's really his first story is how he becomes the Equalizer. Like, he's trying to help this guy, and he's on to these people doing Chuck E. Cheese, what a top secret. They're trying to bunk him off, but he manages to get out of Dodds, and the Equalizer gets him out of Dodds. But then it's more based on this guy who's a stalker. That's the cheapy bit where he breaks in her house. He's got his team and he's looking through the shower. He don't show nakedness. I get it, it's a TV show. So I'm thinking, is he going to go Norman Bates style? But he doesn't. But then he leaves a mark on the wall saying, I was here. She ties the cops, but they can't do anything because there's no evidence and all this until he breaks in. I get it. And even then, she couldn't prove it. So she calls our mate, the Equalizer. Now, at first, you got a feeling there's going to be a love interest between him and her. Danny was a lot older when he did this. I could be right, I could be wrong. I think at the time, Edward Woodward was pushing 50 odd, nearly 60 when he did these. But I think he did good. I could get him with an hairpiece. We all go bald. But I like it. I also remember the actor that plays his son in it. Now, have you ever remember the Karate Kid? 1 and 2, the one that was a small role in number 2, but more in the original Karate Kid, the one that played the bully. That's the actor that plays his son. Oh God, and now he's almost pushing 60 himself. How much times have changed. But yeah, he actually played the Equalizer's son, what I thought was interesting. And like I say, you got an idea, it's like a son and a father bonding. He feels bad because over the years he's rejected his son and he's trying to get back with his son, father and son bonding and all that. So I kind of like that little story to it. I do know there's a few episodes where he's in it as well. And like I said, there's a bit where she goes to the Equalizer and he gets the stump bag, he threatens him, and there's a bit where I just love to see a scene where he gets it done, puts it down there, and threatens every time he just doesn't leave her the fuck alone, he's shooting him down there. But I get it, it's a TV show, they're not going to go fucking firing, and I respect it for that. This is the reason. This is the reason why I did not like the movie version, because the movie version, it makes the Equalizer look like he's anti-violence and he can solve things by killing people and torturing people, and that just puts a bad light on what the Equalizer was. I got the Equalizer the minute I saw the first episode. Like the second episode is to do with a stump bag, what kidnaps kid for money, and the Equalizer has no option but to use violence. It's the only way to get the kid out of Dodge. So yeah, he shoots everybody. And I might get to that one day around the world. That's like that one, but I could get why he had to do that. There's no blood when he's shooting people, because again, as I keep repeating myself, it's a TV series. You're not going to see fucking practical blood splats. But I respect it because that's what the Equalizer was. He tried to solve the situation, not being violent, but if he has to, that's fair enough, he has to. So like I say, he threatens this fucking stump bag, but the stump bag's fucking dumb. He's dumb because he doesn't get it. And he breaks back in after he solves another case. And I always like the way the Equalizer comes in the nick of time, because he gets the woman, the Equalizer comes in and he gets him, batters him, and then he gets put away. And yeah, I feel like I don't think he shoots him now. I think he frightens him, he hurts him, and then he frightens him, and he's holding what he is, a chicken shit. So they put him away. He falls a couple of months after. She's in this restaurant with the Equalizer. She wants to get with him, but he's being professional. He's got his professional head on and not the one down there. He says, no, thank you. Let's keep it professional. So he got an idea. There was a love interest there. Didn't go anywhere. I respect that. I respect that. He's being professional. He's not thinking with his dick. He's being a gentleman. So she says, here's to the Equalizer. He's got an idea. There's going to be a series. there you go, the end of that episode. But I actually like the Equalizer. I think it made Edward Wood well known. If anyone thinks of Edward Wood for his heyday, a lot of people will think of him in That Secret Agent, or a lot of people in the 80s think of Edward Woodward. They think of the Equalizer. I love to watch the Equalizer. I remember watching it religiously every Friday night on the days when TV was worth a fuck. One thing I always loved about the first episode is the woman's kid is watching Magnum PI. I always noticed that. One of the big sailors of the 80s. But yeah, there's a scene in it where the little kid is watching Magnum PI. I almost forgot to say that. But yeah, I actually like the Equalizer. It's one of my favourite shows. So I just thought I'd talk about the very first episode of the Equalizer. But until then, be smart, be safe, and good one to the Equalizer.